Right now, at this very moment, there is a bill sitting in your mailbox or on your kitchen counter or auto-charging your bank account that you are not legally required to pay. And I don't mean it is overpriced. I don't mean it is unfair. I mean the law, federal law, says this charge is illegal. But the companies sending you these bills, they are counting on one thing, that you will never question it, that you will open the envelope, sigh, and write the check. Just like you did last month, and the month before that for millions of Americans over 65, these hidden charges add up to thousands of dollars every single year, money that should be in your pocket, not theirs. Today, I am exposing 7 charges that the law says you should not be paying. And number 4 on this list, the one involving the worst day of your life, could cost your family thousands of dollars in a single afternoon. Stay until the end because I am also going to give you the exact words to say on the phone to get these charges removed. Immediately. Let's get into it. But first, before we go through the list, I need to clear up 3 lies that are costing you money right now. Lie number 1, if it was illegal, they wouldn't send the bill. Wrong. They send these bills every single day. They're banking on the fact that out of every 100 people who get the bill, 99 will pay without a single question. Be the one who asks. Lie number 2, it is only a few dollars. It is not worth the hassle. Really, that $12 charge every month. In 5 years, that is over $700. Multiply that across 3 or 4 of these hidden fees and you are looking at thousands. For what? For something you don't owe. Lie number 3, fighting back is pointless. They won't listen. Actually, and this might surprise you, in most cases, a single phone call with one specific sentence is all it takes. I'll give you that sentence at the end of this video. Now, let's expose these charges one by one. Number 1, and this one affects more people than any other item on this list. Surprise medical bills. Here is how it works. You go to your regular hospital, the one that is in your insurance network. You have a procedure. Everything seems fine. Then 3 weeks later, an envelope arrives. Inside is a bill for $2,000, $5,000, sometimes $10,000 from a doctor you've never heard of. What happened? Turns out the anesthesiologist or the radiologist or the lab that processed your blood work, they were out of your network. Nobody told you. Nobody asked. But now you owe the difference. This used to be perfectly legal. It is not anymore. The Federal No Surprises Act went into effect in January of 2022, and it specifically prohibits this type of billing. It is called balance billing. Under this law, if you receive emergency care, you cannot be billed more than your in-network cost, regardless of which doctors treated you. If you are at an in-network hospital and an out-of-network specialist treats you without your knowledge, they cannot send you a surprise bill, and if you are uninsured, providers must give you a written cost estimate before treatment. If the actual bill exceeds that estimate by more than $400, you can formally dispute it. If you've received a surprise medical bill, call the No Surprises help desk. The number is right there on your screen. File a complaint. They are required to investigate. This one law alone has prevented over 10 million surprise bills since it took effect. Make sure yours isn't the one that slips through. Number 2, the pharmacy trap. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you filled a prescription and just handed over your insurance card without asking the price? Here is what you probably don't know. For years, pharmacists across America were legally gagged, bound by contracts that prohibited them from telling you a simple fact, that your medication might cost less if you paid cash instead of using your insurance. Think about that. You are paying an $85 copay through your insurance, and the exact same pill, the identical medication, costs $12 if you just pay cash. And the pharmacist standing right in front of you was forbidden from telling you. Why? Because the pharmacy benefit manager, the middleman between you and the drug company, was pocketing the difference. In 2018, Congress passed the Patient Right to Know Drug Prices Act. This federal law banned those gag clauses. Your pharmacist can now tell you the cheapest option, and they're supposed to. Here is what you do. Next time you are at the pharmacy counter before you hand over your insurance card, ask this one question. Is the cash price lower than my copay? 7 words. That is it. And if the answer is yes, pay cash and keep the difference. Research shows that nearly 1 in 4 prescriptions costs more through insurance than out of pocket. You could be saving hundreds of dollars a year on medications. starting with your very next refill. Number 3, and I warned you about this one at the beginning, this is the charge that targets people on the worst day of their lives. When someone you love dies, you are drowning in grief. You can barely think straight. And within hours, sometimes within minutes, you are sitting in a funeral home across from someone who is handing you paperwork and asking you to make decisions about caskets and flowers and services, while you can barely hold back tears. And in that moment, when you are at your most vulnerable, some funeral homes will take advantage of you. They'll push you toward an expensive, all-inclusive package, thousands of dollars for services you didn't ask for and don't need. They'll tell you embalming is required by law. In most cases, it is not. And if you bring in a casket you purchased elsewhere, online, at a local retailer, anywhere, some will charge you a handling fee for accepting it. Every single one of these practices is a violation of federal law. The FTC funeral rule, enforced by the Federal Trade Commission, gives you specific rights. You have the right to an itemized price list, not a bundled package, showing every single service and its individual cost. They must give you this list. You have the right to choose only the services you want. They cannot force you to buy a package. You have the right to bring your own casket or urn from any source, and they cannot charge you a fee for using it. And they cannot lie about what the law requires, including embalming. The penalty for violating this rule, up to $53,000 per volt violation. Yet funeral homes continue to break it because grieving families don't know their rights. If you have parents or grandparents, have this conversation with them now, not when it is too late. Know the rules before you walk through that door. Number 4, and I guarantee most of you are paying this one right now without even realizing it. Pull out your internet bill. Look at it carefully. Somewhere in the line items you'll find a charge labeled modem rental or equipment fee or Wi-Fi router lease. It is usually $10 to $15 a month. Sounds small, right? Over 5 years, that is $840 for a device you could buy once at any electronics store for $60 to $90. The internet company is renting you a box that costs them a fraction of what you are paying, and they're counting on you never noticing or never bothering to return it. Here is the fix. Call your provider and tell them you are returning their equipment. Buy your own compatible modem. Check your provider's website for approved models. One purchase. The rental fee disappears from your bill permanently. If they push back or claim it is required, it isn't. FCC broadband labeling rules now require providers to show you honest, transparent pricing. You are not locked into their rental. This is free money back in your pocket every single month. Number 5, the overdraft trap. Your bank calls it overdraft protection. Sounds like they're doing you a favor, right? Protecting you. Here is what it actually means. You swipe your debit card for a $4 cup of coffee. Your account is short by $2. The bank covers it and then charges you a $35 fee for the privilege. You just paid $39 for a coffee. And for people on a fixed income, Social Security, pensions, this can cascade. One overdraft triggers the next. I've seen people hit with 3, 4, 5 overdraft fees in a single day. That is over $150 gone because the account dipped below zero. Here is what your bank doesn't want you to know. Under Federal Regulation E, you have the absolute right to opt out of overdraft coverage for debit card and ATM transactions. They are required to let you. And what happens if you opt out? If you don't have enough money, the transaction simply gets declined. No fee, no penalty. Your card just says no. Call your bank today and say, I want to opt out of overdraft coverage for debit card and ATM transactions under Regulation E1. Call. Done. No more $35 coffees. Number 6, ghost charges on your phone bill. There is a practice called cramming, and it is exactly what it sounds like. Third-party companies cram unauthorized charges onto your phone bill. These show up as vague line items like service fee, premium services, or voicemail enhancement. You never signed up for them. You never agreed to them. You have no idea what they are, but you've been paying them, sometimes for years. The FCC has cracked down on cramming for landline bills, but it still happens, especially on mobile bills where the charges hide among dozens of legitimate line items. Here is your action step. Pull out your most recent phone bill, landline and mobile. Read every single line item. If you see any charge you don't recognize, call your provider immediately and demand an explanation. If it is unauthorized, say this: I never authorized this charge. I want it removed, and I want a refund for every month it was charged. You'd be shocked how fast that charge disappears when you ask. And number 7, this one is the simplest and the one people overlook the most. Notary fees. If you've ever needed a document notarized, a power of attorney, a real estate form, a medical directive, you may have paid $15, $20, even $30 for a notary. Maybe you went to a shipping store or a legal office. But here is what most people don't know. If you have a bank account, a checking account, a savings account, your bank very likely offers notary services for free to account holders. Many of the largest banks in America do this. And in multiple states, there are laws and programs specifically designed to provide free notarization for seniors, especially for critical documents like advance directives and powers of attorney. Before you ever pay for a notary again, call your bank and ask, do you provide free notary services to account holders? In most cases, the answer is yes. And you just saved yourself $20 or $30 every single time. Now, I promised you the exact words that get results. Here they are. Anytime you see a charge on your bill that seems wrong, anytime you suspect you are paying for something you shouldn't be, pick up the phone and say this: I believe this charge is not permitted under federal consumer protection law, and I am requesting its immediate removal. You don't need to name the specific law. You don't need to be a lawyer. That one sentence tells them 3 things. You know your rights. You are not going away. And this is going on record. If they push back, add this. Then I'll be filing a formal complaint with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Watch how fast the tone changes. Here is what I want you to do this week. Pick any 2. Check your medical bills for surprise charges from out-of-network providers you didn't choose. Ask your pharmacist if the cash price is lower than your copay. On your very next prescription, call your bank and opt out of overdraft coverage under Regulation E. Pull out your phone bill and read every single line item looking for charges you didn't authorize. Call your bank and ask if they provide free notary services. Pick 2. Do them today. Every dollar you recover is a dollar you earned back. You worked your entire life for the money in your account. These protections aren't charity. They're laws that exist because you earned them. If you are watching this for yourself, start making those calls today. If you have a parent, a grandparent, a neighbor over 65, sit down with them. Go through their bills together. Make those calls with them. That is one of the most valuable things you can do for someone you love. And if you want to know the 5 things you should never say to a police officer, because your rights matter there too, watch this video right here. I'll see you there.